What's up guys, it's McKeown back again with another video. Today I'm going to take you along for the ride as far as what we've got going on today. And if you saw a couple videos ago, I wanted and intended to start the 75 hard with my team. Well, I'm in the driveway of Dairy Queen, so needless to say, I am no longer committed to that, but I'm going to restart it actually in a week. But before we jump into today, I do want to tell you guys a story that is a little scary, to be honest with you. So my day started off, it's about noon, about 1 o'clock now. We're about halfway through the day. We've got some footage in. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of this, but if you watched my video that I filmed last week talking about the fact that Airbnb could likely be dead, well, Airbnb nearly killed me this morning. I woke up at about 4 this morning to a gunshot. Yes. Outside of my Airbnb, which, to give you guys perspective here, I'm up here and my Airbnb is down here. So really, I lay in my bed every single night above what is my Airbnb suite. Well, right outside the door this morning was an individual that decided to do basically a warning shot. Didn't know at the time. All I knew was at 4 o'clock in the morning, I heard a loud bang and then a woman excessively sob and cry and yell. What I thought was either she shot someone or she got shot. So I called the cops. The cops came, found out the individual, which was the guest's boyfriend, was going through a bunch of issues with arguments and whatnot. And lo and behold, the woman was an 18-year-old. Okay. Lo and behold, it was the boyfriend that wanted to kill himself due to arguments within the relationship, and that's how I started my morning. Now, I've never had anything like this happen before, and she actually intended and tried to extend her stay at my Airbnb. Needless to say, I declined it, but that's how my day started out. So at least now, halfway through my day, I can say my day is getting a little bit better. Yeah. How the house overall looked up? So one thing about being a realtor is your schedule, unfortunately, is ever changing. I was supposed to be at a closing at 1 o'clock to get here at 2 o'clock to help with a blue tape walkthrough. Then I'm going to another final walkthrough and a closing. Well, I just missed my client, so we're just doing a little bit of filming here. Actually, both of the houses that I've seen today, the first one we're actually closing on, and this one we have a blue tape walkthrough with the expected close date to be next week, are both Highland Homes. Highland Homes is a pretty big and well-renowned builder in the DFW Metro. It's one of my personal favorites. Now, you can also see the difference of two different clients, okay? I did a blue tape walkthrough about a week ago with the clients that I just left. They blue taped just about everything possible in the house. The wife is pretty particular, but that's a good thing when it comes to new build. When you do a blue tape walkthrough, obviously you're gonna find anything and everything wrong cosmetically and tape it with blue tape. If there's also something that's not necessarily cosmetic and needs a little bit more work, like sheetrock, you're gonna actually tape it with a different colored tape here instead of blue tape. And as you can kind of see, just walking the upstairs here, there's not a ton of tape. Now, this particular walkthrough, I think, lasted less than an hour. Now, the blue tape walkthrough that I went to last week lasted about 4 hours. The difference is this particular client's not going to be down to the nitty-gritty, making sure every little small thing is done. And there's nothing wrong with it for the other client to be very particular either. The beauty is with new construction, all of it's taken care of. Now, these two new builds are actually homes that I got under contract at the beginning of the year. I believe it's January timeframe. Both of them have obviously a very similar close date. I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the market now, where the market is and kind of what I'm seeing on a daily basis being a real estate agent in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro part of Texas. I can tell you the last 45 days, it's changed drastically. Now, when I did contract both of these new build houses, they were basically available for a moment's notice and then gone. Basically, a builder calls you, says, hey, I have this that fell through. Got about an hour to decide whether or not you want it, and then if you don't want it, it's gonna be sold. Fast forward 6.5 months, obviously rates have gone up substantially from the beginning of this year, and the market has obviously cooled down as well. Builders are actually shifting back to what it kind of was pre-COVID, where you're actually able to pick a lot, you're able to pick a design and a build out frame, as well as finish out, and you can truly build more or less a home that you want versus taking what's really just left on the platter. And that's just the the adjustment that new builders are doing, going back to more of a buyer's market versus a very heavy seller's market, which is what we've been really dealing with over the last 18 to 24 months. On top of that, when it comes to pre-owned homes, a lot more homes are sitting on the market. We're having a whole lot more inventory and a whole lot less buyers just because of the interest rates having gone up, really squeezing a lot of buyers out of homes, as well as obviously inflation happening across the country. It's causing people to be a little bit more cautious with where the economy's headed. Now, I'm still a firm believer in buying real estate. Me personally, obviously, I've had a huge amount of appreciation since 2017 when I started to acquire properties. But even now in 2022 and moving forward in 2023 and 2024, I still, me personally, am going to be buying homes. Now, I'm going to be cautious with the home that I do buy and making sure that makes sense. But at the end of the day, investing in real estate is still going to be a terrific investment. All right, so that final walkthrough didn't necessarily go as planned. To give you guys an idea, if you haven't purchased a home, a final walkthrough is when you walk through the house when the previous owner has moved all of their stuff out. Now, that house looks like a final walkthrough when they have a lease back. Now, in the state of Texas, you're allowed to have a lease back within the contract that allows people to continue to live there and then move out in some set time. Well, it looked like there was a lease back, and I know we kind of went back and forth as far as negotiations with a lease back, but there is no lease back. Meaning that as soon as we sign here, technically that house is now my client's, and that means every belonging inside of that house is now my client's. Now, obviously my client doesn't need, nor do they want, all of the previous owner's stuff, so we're actually gonna hold back funding, meaning we're gonna hold back the deal until tomorrow. Supposedly, all of that stuff's supposed to be out tomorrow morning. We'll see, we're gonna do another walkthrough tomorrow morning to see if everything's done, and if everything's cleaned out and finished, then we will officially fund on the house, and the house will be my client's. Texted the agent, and I guess the listing agent was not aware of the current state of the home, but as I said before, hopefully there's no issues. Hopefully we don't have to continue to hold back funding tomorrow morning or ask for compensation due to the house and its condition. Again, real estate's kind of just go with the flow and see what happens, but got to protect your clients at the end of the day, right? You don't want your clients to be closing in on a home and have a whole bunch of stuff still remaining in the home. Or I've definitely had people that have not done a final walkthrough and then they closed on the house and went back the next day or went back at the end of the week or the following week, and the entire place is trashed. So final walkthroughs are huge, and this is an example of exactly why